What's going on, guys? It is I, once again, Coach Dominic, with my beautiful co host, Coach Kiani Adams. And this is today's episode of the No BS Fitness Prescription with a unhinged approach. We have an amazing guest today. We have Coach Lisa A. Smith. She is a well known person in the fitness space, but most predominantly in the plant based space. How are you doing today?
I am very well. How are you guys? Thank you for having me.
Doing good, doing good. We're so glad to have you. So, first, starting off, knowing that we've done some work in the past when you were in Detroit, please tell everybody about you, how you got your start, and yeah, let's get this going.
Hey, everyone. So I'm Lisa A. Smith, originally from Detroit, Michigan, as Don mentioned. And I started over 10 years ago, crazy enough. And it all started with my own health transformation, weight loss transformation. So back in 2012, I was working as a social worker in Oakland County, Michigan. And I was overweight, and I had a coworker who wasn't, and she looked amazing. And so I cornered her in a break room. I wanted to know how she did it. She was like eating all of this healthy stuff, and I was insecure in my body and I needed something to change. And so I asked Tiffany, is that what it takes? Am I going to have to eat the same thing every day in order to look as fit as you? And she was a personal trainer, and she invited me to the gym. She became my first personal trainer. I lost over 60 pounds, and that changed the game for me. Like, that was the domino that knocked every other domino down. And so I ended up in the fall of that year resigning from my role as a social worker, moving abroad to Rome, leaving my career in social work. Then I ended up moving to China, all while still working out and exercising. And I just found this passion for health and wellness. And so I decided when I got back to stateside that I didn't want to be in social work anymore, and that I really wanted to move into the health and wellness space. And so I started my own online personal training company in 2005. It has since evolved into a full-fledged coaching company where we do health coaching, business coaching, personal development coaching. And it's this year we celebrate our 10 years in business, but everything started with me taking back my power from food, losing weight, gaining a ton of confidence, and inevitably discovering my gift of speaking and coaching and teaching.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So, what would you say? Because you said you moved abroad, so was that a big culture shock for you from a food perspective?
Not at all, not at the time, because I wasn't plant-based yet. And so when I lived in China and when I lived in Italy, I was more excited to explore different types of cuisine. I was really excited to discover how other cultures fuel their body and what food means in those cultures. And so it wasn't a culture shock. I actually believe it's really shaped who I am today as a coach, right? Having that exposure, not being intimidated by new things, because that's one of the challenges for a lot of people. It's just like, I want to change, but I don't know what that is, or I don't know how to cook that, or I don't know how to pick that. And so it's really helped me to be more free and more accessible to things that are unfamiliar to me. And so it's really shaped who I am as a coach.
You said you lost the 60 pounds before you went to China?
Yes. Yeah. Well, about 30 to 40 pounds before I moved to Italy first. And then I continued to work out as I was working at the United States Embassy, and I lost more weight. So by the time I came back, I was even smaller. Yeah.
Nice. So would you say that when you were making changes from these different countries that it was like difficult for you to keep your nutrition on track?
No, not at all. It wasn't difficult at all. It was, the movement was one thing, and just being conscious about what I was eating. I definitely didn't know at that time all that I know today about nutrition science and about lifestyle science. Not nearly as well read on the science, but I knew what most people know, which is that's not good and that's all right, right? And so sometimes just knowing those few things in the beginning is enough to get you started. And then the more educated you get, the more further along on the journey you go, you learn more, and you continue to improve your decision making. But no, I didn't know as much as I know today. I wasn't certified in nutrition. I wasn't a personal trainer yet, but it was just about, I know I need to stay away from that alcohol or that sugar or that fast food, and let me just try and eat cleaner whole meals. And it worked, and I lost weight, and my confidence went through the roof.
I love that.
Yeah.
When you were initially back at being a social worker, when you had that conversation with your coworker, did it seem like it was too easy when she told you what she was doing? Like that's all you have to do?
Yeah, no, it didn't seem too easy. It was intriguing because she was in the break room eating this parfait that was like yogurt, granola, and blueberries. And I'm like, and I see her in the break room making this every day. And I'm like, yo, do you eat the same thing every day? And she's like, pretty much. And I'm like, okay, well, tell me more. Right. And that's when she revealed that she was a personal trainer. Like, it's not just my diet, it's the movement and it's the combination of these things. So it didn't seem too anything, Kiana. It wasn't too easy. It didn't seem too hard. It didn't seem too foreign. It was just I was just curious.
Okay, I ask because sometimes when people, I find that when you're looking at somebody who's like very fit and like disciplined and serious about their health, they think that you have to do like these big extravagant things every day. So sometimes I feel like when you tell somebody what you have to do, like eat clean, exercise, move more, they're like, that's it. Like there's nothing else I have to do, and then it seems too good to be true.
Oh, you're 100% right.
Yeah.
I think sometimes with the advancement in technology and drugs, and you can inject yourself with stuff and all of this stuff, sometimes because of all the advancements, even though it's supposed to simplify things and make things easier, I think it's made things more complicated because we inevitably, first of all, have so many options. And so sometimes our struggle is not the level of difficulty or complexity with things, it is that we have so many options. And when we have so many options, it gives us almost too many things to consider. Well, what about this? Because the keto diet does this. Well, what about this? Because now they're labeling obesity as a disease and not just a lifestyle. Or what about this? Well, what about this vegan thing? Like maybe I should be trying this, but what about these supplements? Now they say CMOS does this, and they say I should be taking this for fat burner. And so all of these options brings a level of complexity. But at the end of the day, it is what it's always been, which is eat like you got some sense, move consistently, right? Mitigate stress and sleep right. Like the formula really hasn't changed. It's just the advancements in technology and all of the options and products and services that have flooded the marketplace. But at the end of the day, like you can do this on your own if you really wanted to. Most people need help for the mindset.
Come on.
But the formula ain't changed.
Hmm. So can you talk to us about how you transition from just like eating like you have some sense and like eating clean and then eating in a plant-based style?
Yeah. So people are always like kind of shocked to hear that I lost my weight before I became a plant-based vegan. I'm like, no, I lost weight long before I decided to become plant-based. So I was still eating meat and dairy and animal products when I lost 65 pounds. But when I got back over to the States and I decided to become a personal trainer, I'm working in the gym as a personal trainer. I'm working people out. We're doing the movement part. However, people were coming to me for an hour a week, but then all of the remainder of the day and the remainder of the week, they're not moving as much. But most importantly, they're not conscious about what they're eating. So I needed to study nutrition to better help my clients. So I actually went plant based, not for personal health reasons, but just from all of the science I was learning. And I'm like, wait a minute, you mean to tell me that the number one cause of death in the United States is heart disease? And you mean to tell me there is a dietary protocol that has been proven scientifically to reverse or prevent heart disease? It was a no brainer. I'm like, I could lose weight and extend my life expectancy, like game over. You mean to tell me like this people are dying not from some airborne something that they have no control of, not from genetics in their DNA, but they're dying from clogged arteries. And you mean to tell me the number one thing that clogs arteries is animal fat, cholesterol, refined sugar, alcohol, smoking, and stress? Ah, okay, this is an easy fix. So I went plant based strictly because of the probability that the science provided, which means being plant based, there's no like I don't have an elitist attitude around it. I don't think I'm better than anybody. But what I do know is that my probability for succumbing to heart disease or type 2 diabetes or Alzheimer's and dementia is much lower. So the transition, Kiani, happened because I was studying science and the science made so much sense. But I actually didn't have any health challenges. I was already at a healthy weight. And because of that, the biggest benefit that I experienced when I became a plant based vegan was my mental clarity. Like how my brain functions and operates today, my recall, my ability to concentrate, my creativity is like 100 times better than it was before when I was still eating animal products and eating sugar and eating excessive oil and all of that. And so for me, the mental clarity was undeniable because I really didn't have a health challenge that I was trying to mitigate. And so today, as a speaker, as a coach, as somebody who creates a crap ton of content all the time, writing books, writing curriculum, like I need my mind to be sharp so that I can always create with excellence. That's what plant-based diet has done for me.
Okay. What was that? And I know it's been some years for you, but if you can recall, like what was that beginning transition like? Like you can go into detail or you can keep it super simple, but like what was that those first steps of when you were like, okay, I'm now going this level of plant based? Because there are people don't know it, but there are different levels of being plant based. How did you transition so it worked for you in the best way?
Yeah. So I'm a plant-based vegan, so I want to make that clear. I know some people identify themselves as plant-based, but they still eat some animal products. So I
Mhm.
want to be clear that I am vegan, so I don't eat any animal products, no meat, no eggs, no seafood, no dairy. And so when I first began to transition to this lifestyle, I actually became pescatarian first. So that means I was still eating seafood for a while. And so I ate seafood for a while. And then I'm like, man, I still like when I eat this, when I eat salmon, when I eat this, I still feel the creation of the mucus. I'm like, this isn't normal. I thought seafood was healthy. It's not. As I begin to study and learning more, I'm like, man, the high amounts of cholesterol, all of the microplastics, all of the drugs that the fish are fed to keep them alive. I'm like, it turns out this is not any better. And so I let the seafood go as well. And that's when things went to the next level as far as just like no inflammation in the body, mental clarity, all of the able to maintain the weight loss that I had gotten. And so now that I'm completely whole food, plant based vegan, and I'm clean, so that means I don't do a bunch of vegan junk food either. And that's really important too. Like I'm not eating all the meat substitutes, a bunch of dairy substitutes, all of that stuff, all of the fast food, burgers and stuff. It's really about eating whole, real food. So whole food, plant based. And that for me was easier than the average person. Number one, because I had those cultural experiences and living abroad and really not intimidated by food. So I'm not intimidated by the texture of things, or I'm not intimidated by things I've never had before, never tried before. So that made it easier. But then also, because of the results I had gotten, I also was excited about maintaining those results. And so for me, it wasn't like, oh, I gotta have chicken, or I don't know how I'm gonna live without bacon. It was just so natural because I was feeling so amazing. And because I was a coach by that time and I had started my company already too, I'm constantly studying. And so the science just kept backing up this lifestyle for me. And so I couldn't deny the science. And I'm like, look, that stuff clogs arteries. This stuff doesn't. It was just black and white to me.
Would you say you have I don't know the way to describe it, but are you the type of person to just cut something out cold turkey?
Food and people. You hear me? Everybody can get it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
it wasn't hard for you to like cut out those things. What about like alcohol? Did you
Yep.
ever like
Yeah.
have a journey with that as well?
Yeah, no, I still drink every now and then. Like but it's no refined sugar. I don't do mixed drinks and all of that. And I can go months without it. Months without it. So it's not something that like I have to have, right? And so yeah, I have dry months all the time. But like if I want to drink every now and then, sure. And it's usually just straight with maybe lemon and lime and then that's it. So no mixers, no sugar, no, all of that stuff. But yeah, but if I need to stop at any moment, I can with no hesitancy. There's not a single thing that I consume that has a bigger hold over me than I have over it. Not a single thing. And
Smart.
that's what I'm really proud of. Yeah.
That's
I
amazing.
think one of the biggest things that you said, and you do see this a lot, and I know for us, it's primarily in the Black community. How you spoke on, you don't utilize. I'm trying to say this as nice as possible. Uh, you don't utilize the vegan BS foods, like
Yeah.
the vegan processed foods. And
Yeah.
a lot of people like to be like, oh, well, I'm doing it this way because I want to do dirty vegan or dirty vegetarian when it's like if you're gonna do it, why not just do it the most optimal way that you could, like how you do it? And it's like so many people want to. It's the little shortcuts that people want to use.
Yeah.
Right? It's like if you could just do it the best way, you're probably going to get those better results than you are having those the vegan burgers that are processed when you could take a little more time, get the ingredients and make it your own,
Yeah.
so you can utilize it that way.
Yeah.
Um, in your field of helping people transition, did you notice that that was more of a thing of people going vegan and doing it that way over learning how to cook their own food?
Yeah. So the approach that someone takes when they're, trying out the plant-based lifestyle should be dependent on one primary thing first and foremost, but I would say two. The first is why they're doing it. Because some people, Dom, they're not necessarily going plant-based for everybody doesn't go plant-based for health.
Right.
Like some, it's compassion, right? Because we are literally slaughtering animals for our consumption. We are using up a crap ton of the earth's resources for animal agriculture, and so that's a real thing. So I've had students in my program, like I didn't discover the health benefits until after I went vegan for compassion reasons, right? So that's important, right? To be like, well, why you're eating that if you're vegan? It's like, well, they never did it for health. They just did it because they don't want an animal to be slaughtered for their consumption, right? So that's number one. So why are we doing it? The other why are we doing it though? If somebody does adopt this lifestyle for health reasons, or for the potential health benefits, it is what are they battling? What are they battling? So and the severity of that. So the speed at which they move as far as adopting plant-based, like should I be pescatarian first or just keep eggs or take some stuff out a little at a time, should be dependent upon what we're trying to treat. Like, are you type 2 diabetic? Are you dealing with liver failure? Are you in kidney failure on dialysis? Did you just get diagnosed with cancer? Like, is it, I was speaking with one of our students today in our challenge, and she's like, I got these uterine fibroids and I got to get them down. I want to improve my fertility chances of having a baby, right? And so there's things that people are really struggling with. We have a lot of people that do it for mental health. Like, I know the sugar increases depression symptoms. We
Right.
know the sugar increases anxiety and hyperactivity in the body and in the brain. And so the severity of what we're battling also plays a huge role in how clean somebody decides to be. Because some people come in like, I'm in so much pain and suffering in my health. I'm willing to do what it takes. I'm willing to cut all the junk off now. Then other people, they're like, I mean, yeah, I got high blood pressure, but I've been managing it with a pill for, a couple years, and I'm curious about the plant-based thing, but I'm not trying to be that extreme,
Right.
right? Not realizing that high blood pressure is extreme because high blood pressure is a precursor to heart disease and heart failure. But because we can manage high blood pressure, because we can manage high cholesterol for years, unfortunately, we've diminished the urgency of it. And so some people are like, I want to see what this do, but like, give me some substitutes. Like, give me, kid, what this plant-based burger tastes like? What this plant-based pizza taste like? And I'm not mad at those people either, because at least they're curious enough to try, but they're not willing to be completely clean yet, because that SOS, salt, oil, and sugar, has a hold on us. And sometimes we need some what's called transition food. Some people need that. Like, it's going to be hard for somebody to literally go from a bacon cheeseburger to a black bean burger. That's hard for some people, right? And I respect that. And but the gap should be the science. So not let me just try it blindly. Let me go somewhere, a coach or community, where I can learn the science behind making this decision and how the science directly impacts the thing I'm trying to correct. So what's the science behind a plant-based diet and high blood pressure? What's the science behind a plant-based diet and cancer? What's the science behind a plant-based diet and fertility? And when we study that and understand that, then hopefully that will close the gap between using vegan processed food and really being whole food.
Okay. Okay. I had a question. I had a whole thought process, and it just went away. It was based on the correlation, the causation, how you were talking about. Oh, it was pretty much like it comes down to overall people's their wants and their needs. How you said, how extreme is your need to change your life,
Yes.
right? And for most people, whether you eat meat or not, it comes down to if that doctor tells you, oh, if you don't do this, you're gonna die. It's people take that woe is me approach and now I got to do it.
Yes.
But it's like, why couldn't you work on living that lifestyle before? But it's also like you said, people look at it how for us in the fitness space, when we say living that lifestyle, they look at us on the outside, everything is super extreme. I
Yeah.
don't want to not eat that burger anymore. I don't want to have to exercise. You mean I gotta exercise every day? You mean I gotta eat this way for more than a week?
Yeah.
You know, it's very hard for people, if we're being realistic, it's very hard for people to put themselves first. They'll
Yeah.
take shortcuts until they have no other options. And then for most people, it's too late. So for I feel for a lot of people out there, if plant-based is that next step, they need to be reaching out to people like you. I'm
Yeah.
not plant-based, but I've done like the meatless Mondays. I've attempted those things. And I'm, of course, being in the nutrition coaching space, very fascinated by it, of course. So this is a great overall dialogue to show people that, there are ways that you can make yourself healthy and get off of, some of the medication and the things that you're doing and all of that.
Yeah. And I will say, Dom, too, when you say like, well, why did it have to get to this point? Like why couldn't you be my version of extreme in the beginning, which is exercising regularly and eating clean? Like, why does it take a diagnosis for you to wake up, so to speak? And in my decade of coaching, I would say the number one thing I've observed around this is that people actually haven't been given permission to. Like, people have been given permission to be sick. People have been given permission to manage lifestyle disease like kidney failure and blood pressure and cholesterol and fatty liver. They've been given permission to manage things, but no one's given them permission to even consider remission. Like when somebody get diagnosed with some of these lifestyle diseases, right? Oftentimes you have a healthcare provider who's like, here's a pill, take it regularly, don't miss a day. You have family that they've watched manage the same condition. You have, people in their inner circle who are supporting them and reminding them like you're doing the best you can and give yourself grace. But then you have someone, then their whole world gets blown up when like someone like me or you guys come in and you're like, yo, did you know you could actually just lose all the weight? Did you know you could actually get off of blood pressure med? Did you know it's possible to reverse type 2 diabetes? Like, nobody's given them permission to live optimally. Like, did you know that there's people that age well without disease and dysfunction and needing medical equipment? Like, they need a possibility model. People need to see people who have reversed it. People need to see people who are literally saying no to a drink at a social functioning. People need to see people who are saying that I get it's Thanksgiving and Christmas, but I'm actually not going to eat the same things I've been eating for the past 40 years that led to the diagnosis. Nobody's been given permission to. Like, I remember when I quit my job one time as a social worker, just because I didn't like it and I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. My best friend said to me, you are the first person in my life who's told me that that was even possible. I thought we only quit jobs if we had another one lined up. Nobody has ever given me permission just say this doesn't make me happy and I don't want to do it anymore. I didn't know that was a thing. So I think in these people's defense, we get upset and we like, why aren't you fighting for your life before a diagnosis? But the truth of the matter is most of us don't have a possibility model. We've never seen anyone actually do that. Like when I teach about stress, Dom, and I'm like, did you know that you didn't have to manage stress and you could eliminate it? Do you know how many people are like, have never heard that language, Lisa? I've never considered elimination. I've only been taught management. And so I think for a lot of people, it's an exposure issue. For a lot of people, it's a permission problem. For a lot of people, we don't have a possibility model. So when they see a young Black girl who just decided from Detroit that just decided I'm gonna be vegan, just decided I'm gonna be a full-time entrepreneur, just decided I'm gonna lose weight and not gain it back, just decided I'm going to be a public figure and become a historical figure and going to do it on my own terms, people are like, oh, that's possible. I got a new goal now. Right. And so I just think more of us need to live out loud. More of us need to display our radical obedience. And then we inevitably give people permission to make different decisions.
I love
I
that.
like that.
I think that's with everything. Like even like think when you mentioned exposure, I immediately thought like the things we're exposed to as a kid in terms of like the career options we had. I feel like it's always the same like three things because that's all we're exposed to. But now you're seeing like people do all these out of the box things, and I think the younger generation is seeing that you don't have to be like a doctor, lawyer, nurse.
That's such a great point. We need career day for adult. Like career day should not end in middle school.
Trying to tell you, boy.
We need career day. We need lifestyle day. Like we still need to see people that look like us coming in front of us, being like, "Did you know you could be this?" And you don't
Yes.
have to just aspire to be an athlete, just aspire to be a doctor, just aspire to be an attorney. Did you know you could be a coach? Did you know you could be an entrepreneur? Did you know you can be lean your whole life? You don't have to gain weight and then work your butt off to lose it for 10 years as an adult. Like, did you know this was possible? So that's spot on. We need career day our entire lives.
I
Yeah.
love that.
Especially this day and age when so many people are working longer or retiring and they're like, I'm 55, I'm about to be an entrepreneur, and the most definitely. What were you
Yeah.
gonna say, Johnny?
I was going to say that you mentioned that people have a hard time. I think it was you. People have a hard time putting themselves first,
Yep.
and that reminded me of something Lisa had posted on her page, and it was about viewing your health as an assignment. And I think once you, and you can elaborate more on that, but once you do that, it's kind of not necessarily putting yourself first. It's more so being in like being a servant to the people that you want to help.
That's it.
Yeah,
That's
so
it.
you can explain that a little bit more. But
Yeah, of course, of course. So, one of the first assignments we give our students in our 30-day challenges in our, plant-based coaching program is if historically eating healthy, exercising consistently, just making healthy choices consistently has been a challenge for you. The gap may be that you haven't given your health an assignment, meaning you're still trying to do it for all the right reasons, like the reasons you're supposed to. You're trying to let I should be healthy and I should be at a healthy weight and I don't want to be on medications. You're still trying to let that be your reason. And it ain't working. Right now, it sounds amazing to be like, I'm gonna lose this weight and I'm gonna make healthy decisions because I want to be healthy and because I want to age well and because I don't want, my family to have to take care of me. But let's just be honest. You've been trying to use that as your reason for years and it's not working. So now we need to pivot. You're at a point now where you need to give your health an assignment. So what I mean by that is, what is your health responsible for above and beyond your personal well-being? Like, yeah, you want to live long, but what is your health responsible for other than your weight and your life expectancy? So for me, the assignment on my health is literally coaching and speaking and being a possibility model for people who don't know that it's possible. So every time I get on the mic, every time I do an interview, every time I do a speaking engagement, every time I facilitate a program, every time I lead one of our challenges, the people in the audience are my assignment. So that means really practical. When I'm making the decision, not to eat some foolishness, it's because I'm thinking about the assignment. Last night, literally less than 24 hours ago, we were out to dinner, and the lady came over to the table and offered a free dessert. Why didn't I say yes? Why didn't I eat it? Because I'm like, I got calls in the morning. I got to do this podcast interview. Like, I don't want my brain compromised. I don't not eat that stuff because I'm worried about gaining weight. I'm not worried about diabetes. I'm not worried about heart disease. That doesn't scare me. The thing that scares me is showing up to an interview like this and not being mentally clear. So that's the assignment. The assignment is, Lisa, people love your voice. They love your perspectives on things. You don't know what questions Kiani and Dom are going to ask you. You guys didn't send me any questions ahead of time, and I ain't asked for none. I'm just like, whatever they ask me, I'm going to be ready because I stay ready. That's how much confidence I have in my brain. But it's because my health has an assignment, right? And so I think more of us need to think about what's the assignment that God has given us? Like, what are you called to do? And are you optimal enough to do it consistently? And I think if more of us thought like that, instead of we keep trying to play and be like, I want to do it because I don't want to be on medication anymore. That's really not motivating you. Right. But when you sit down to try and write that book or record that podcast episode or turn on and do some content, you can't think of ideas or you have brain fog or you just always too tired to work on your 5 to 9 after your 9 to 5.
Mm.
Now the assignment is compromised and that becomes the new motivator. right? Because radical obedience says that when God gives you a divine download, you execute immediately and not eventually. And for a lot of people listening, your assignment has been on the shelf for years, and God is sick of waiting on you to show up and execute. And so we got to give our health an assignment if just eating right for the sake of eating right ain't working for you.
Message. Pause. I like that.
That reminds me of like athletes. I remember I used to think like that when I played like high school and college basketball. Like it was certain things that like I just wouldn't do or wouldn't eat because it would make me feel like crap.
Yes, that's
And
it.
I think when we get out of that like structured, I think like if you were an athlete or did anything like extracurricular that was serious in like high school and college, I think you kind of had that mindset. But then when we get out of those environments and we have less of that, I guess like structure and routine, we tend to lose that mindset.
We do. And that's why I tell people honor the conditions in which you thrive. Oh, I thrived when I was in community. I thrived when I was on a team. I thrived when I had a coach. What are the conditions? I'd be like, tell me about a time when. Tell me about a time when you were making your best decisions and you felt your best self. Well, if I think about it, it was actually when it was this. Now, what were those conditions? Because for some reason, we have like this uber hyper independence where we're like, I shouldn't need help. I shouldn't need a coach. Like, keep paying your coach if it works when you got a coach. Like, figure out how not to be coachless. Figure out how not to be free of a community. Like, I hate the fact that I need somebody else to provide the structure. Don't nobody care about your feelings. If that's when you were at your best, honor
Right.
the conditions in which you thrive. Like, I can't remember the last time I didn't have a coach. I'm not gonna get caught coachless in the streets. You know what I'm saying? Because that's when I thrive. And so if that's the situation where you were your best, honor those conditions. Stop making it more difficult because your ego tells you, I shouldn't need X. I shouldn't have to have X. I should get it by now. You're not strong enough yet. Get over it and honor the conditions in which you thrive and stop compromising your health because of your ego.
And that's a big thing right there, what you said, because it's like most people, they don't want to admit that.
Yeah.
There's something wrong with saying, oh, I don't know this, or I have a coach and I just do better because somebody's keeping my ass accountable.
Yes.
Like at the end of the day, growing up as kids, we always had somebody keeping us accountable. Let
Yep.
it be our parents, let it be our teacher, let it be that one coach. Like that's just how we did everything. But at some point, we just got away from it, and you see what happens.
Yep. That's it.
People are people are still trying to lose the same 15 every year by themselves, doing everything but
Yes.
hiring somebody that can guide them there faster.
That's it. That's it. And so now you're looking up and you done gained another 15 on top of that 15, right? And it's not even necessary. And so you got to admit when you need help and you have to admit when you can't do it on your own. And you have to understand that it's okay. Like we need to give people permission to need help again. Like this independence is killing the game. Like it's killing us. Like it is destroying our goals. Like you can't do it. You need somebody to see your blind spots, right? And that's what it is. And so we need to honor that for sure.
Definitely, definitely. Key, you got something?
I do, unless you.
I do. So we're gonna
Alright,
go back to plant-based real quick.
Okay.
One of the biggest topics for people, and I do work with clients that are vegan, vegetarian, especially around the globe, and living here in Detroit. Protein.
Yeah.
That's a big topic for people.
Yeah.
I know that you can get enough protein. Can you get enough protein eating plant-based?
Can you get enough protein eating plant-based? Unequivocally 100% yes. Mainly because all protein actually comes from plants. So people believe that when I eat meat, when I eat fish, when I eat eggs, I'm eating protein. And yes, those things have protein in them, but it's because of what the animal ate, right? So the animal is the middleman, right? So when you eat the cow, the chicken, the turkey, you're eating the middleman. They eat the plants and we eat them, right? So all amino acids, which is the building blocks of protein, comes from plants. So you get the amino acids in a cleaner form, meaning when you eat the animals, you're also eating the hormones that the animal naturally makes, not just what is pumped in them. Like, no, I buy hormone-free meat. Yeah, but every mammal makes hormones, right?
Right.
Naturally, right? And so when you eat plants, when you get your protein from whole foods like legumes, and when you get it from nuts and seeds and actual foliage and plants, you're getting a cleaner source of protein, of those amino acids. So now it's not coming with growth hormones. Now it's not coming with saturated fat. It's not coming with cholesterol. It's not coming with all the drugs that the animals were pumped full of to keep them alive. And so it is so possible. Like, I don't take a protein powder at all. My entire team is plant-based. We don't take all of those supplements, but this requires you to be like, eat whole real foods. Now, if you're eating a bunch of junk food, no matter whether you're animal-based or plant-based, you can still have deficiency just because you're not eating real food. So deficiency in protein is highly unlikely as a plant-based vegan, because all protein comes from plants. And so it's very easy to get more than enough. And I must say this, people are misconstrued about what enough is. So you usually don't need as much protein as you think you need, unless you are trying to manipulate your body to do something it can't do naturally. So in the bodybuilding world, in the lifting world, they usually take 2-3 times the amount of protein that they biologically need to live. So your biological need is not the same as the amount you want to take if you're going for hypertrophy, if you're trying to get your muscles to grow beyond what they can do with real food. So when you see people in the gym who are like 150 grams of protein, all of this protein, that's not what they need to live. That's what they need for mass.
Right.
And so, but if we're talking about your biological need, like, what do I need to not be deficient? For the average person, that's well under 100 grams a day. But we get confused from the bodybuilding and the lifting world, because when we want to put on muscle, our body can't do that naturally. So now we need a supplement, a synthetic supplement, to make our body do what it biologically was not designed to do. And that's where people get confused. So what is the motivation for taking that much protein? Because your biological needs can easily be met with some tofu, some black beans, right? A quick couple scoops of peanut butter, very easy. A black bean chili, and you're done. But people think I need that much because that's what I see lifters saying and doing. And that is for mass. That is not biological needs. So yes, it is very easy to get more than enough protein to meet your biological needs from a plant-based diet.
I think it's good that you said the biological need, because I'm definitely one of those people who are like pushing more protein, especially for muscle mass, just because I lift and that's what I'm trying to achieve. But how do you balance trying to gain muscle? Like, say somebody who wants to do that, like wants to lift and do bodybuilding, because I've been seeing like more like plant-based bodybuilders now,
Yep.
and like keeping it clean. Like,
Yeah.
how do you balance that?
Yeah. So there are, oh my God, what's his name?
Sorry.
God, let me think of his name. But there's a vegan bodybuilder who just made it to, like, he's going to,
Tori.
yeah.
Tori
Tori
Washington.
Yes. Yeah. And he's not the only one, right? Who, is purported to be a clean bodybuilder who's not using all of that junk and all those supplements and all of those, steroids and stuff to put on mass. But one of the main things is, as you guys know, is lifting. So how do you naturally increase your appetite? Because you do have to eat more to put on mass, no doubt about it, right? And so you have to naturally increase your appetite so that you can refeed and so you can restore those glycogen levels, right? If you want to put on muscle and put on mass. And so first it's going to be about, as you guys know, progressive workouts. You're progressively lifting heavier so that you naturally crave more food. Because when we try and get those high amounts of protein needs from powders, is a very different way that it is synthesized and processed in our kidneys versus eating real food, right? So, and that's why when you see a lot of bodybuilders who've been in the game for years, that's why instances of kidney failure is higher in the bodybuilding world, because all of the protein has destroyed their kidneys, right? And then also heart failure from a lot of like the creatine and the things that have like the pre-workouts and the things that have things in it that's not natural for the heart. So all of these supplements can be dangerous, but one of the ways you increase your appetite naturally is by having progressively heavier lifting workouts and then being trained by a coach. And so that if there is some type of supplemental intake, ideally, the best way that I would love to see people do it is in season. So people who literally train for the stage, if you are going to be a supplement person in the bodybuilding world, do it when you're literally training. You know, you're 16 weeks out, you're 8 weeks out, right? And that's when you do it. And then have an off season where you give your body a rest, where you literally give your kidneys a rest from all of that, your liver a rest, because you're taking more than what you need. And what people don't realize is that while we all know to be afraid of deficiency, most people don't know to be afraid of excess. So if you get too much protein, that can cause kidney failure, right? If you get too much of something, that could cause heart failure. And so we know that deficiency is bad, but for some reason, we've been taught that if a little bit is good, then a lot must be better. And that's not true. So if you're going to be in the bodybuilding world and you want to supplement because you want your body to do something that it can't do on its own, then make it a seasonal thing, right? So my brand manager, she's a bodybuilder, and when she's training for the stage, like super regimented for the what she eats, the calories, she's weighing everything, of course, and then she's taking supplements for the stage. But when she's not training, when she's not in season for the stage, she's like giving her organs a rest from all of these synthetic supplements. And so I would say that's one way to balance it out. But sometimes that's hard from an ego standpoint, because if you start losing weight or something, and then you're like, I don't like the way I look or whatever, and you feel the pressure to keep that stuff up. But it can really do damage to your organs because you're taking stuff you don't biologically need. You're just trying to manipulate your body externally.
Right. And I'm gonna do a little twisting here. There are like, so what she's saying pretty much is, at the end of the day, we know, regardless of if you eat meat or not, majority of people they don't eat enough protein, right? So yes, we have the RDA numbers, right, which is the bare minimum, and then like you stated, right, you have what you need for your basic line of health and hormone and brain function. So that's where the numbers of, like, 100 grams per day and things like that come from. So I want people to also understand and don't miss the point of what she's saying. There's levels to your intake, right? If your goal is to change your body, let it be increasing lean muscle, body composition, things like that,
Yeah.
you are going to have to manipulate that and eat a little more based off of where you are starting from, right? So if you're only eating 50 grams a day, nobody here is saying jump to 200. You could be going from 50 to 75 and still get the benefits that you're looking for, right? I think a lot of people, like you said, everybody's thinking more and more and more right now, but they're not even looking at where they're starting from.
Mm-hmm.
That deters a lot of people.
Yeah.
And of course, everybody is right now, take this supplement, take this, take that, but you don't even have the basic habits of, like you said, getting in your baseline of protein, which also shows most people, if they're not getting in enough protein, they're probably not getting in enough calories either.
Mm-hmm.
So there's levels to that. So I want people to be mindful of what she's saying. There's levels to your protein, and you have to work at that. And like she said, it's probably best to work with somebody that knows more, so you're not spinning yourself in circles.
Yeah. Yeah. And that lifting is important. Like you won't get mass just from taking protein. You have to
Right.
have progressively heavy workouts. So you might not even be working out to the level that you need that much more. Like a protein shake by itself ain't gonna do much if you're trying to put on mass. You gotta be getting under the weight. And
Right.
you have to be doing it alongside a professional.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you'll get a lot of people that, oh, I'm 1 week in the gym. What do I need to take? Your butt back to the gym for more work.
Yeah.
You
But
know?
I also think people like forget what a supplement is. It's
Yeah.
like a supplement is meant to supplement your already existing routine. But if you've been in the gym for 5 days, 7 days, or a month, like you have to get consistency with that, and your body's gonna see progress, right? You're gonna see progress doing it naturally. So, I think people tend to like see these things in like the bodybuilding world and like these advanced athletes, these elite athletes, and think they have to apply it to their journey, but like their starting points are different.
Yeah.
So I think you have to really look at what like a supplement means. It's to supplement your already existing routine. But if you don't have one, then you shouldn't even be thinking about that yet.
Exactly.
When it comes to, I know you have a challenge coming up.
Yeah.
Is the challenge strictly helping people with their nutrition, or is it also adding in workouts as well?
Yeah, both. So we have a challenge that we do, the Plant Protocol 30-day vegan salt, oil, and sugar-free challenge. And starting here on January 1st, we're going through January 31st. And for 30 days, it is obviously the nutritional protocol. So it's 100% vegan, no salt, no oil, no sugar. It's primarily designed for individuals who are battling some type of chronic lifestyle disease, right? And so this could be mental health or it could be physical health. And we also, my brand manager, my right hand, Coach Kiwi, who is a fitness trainer, she designs the workouts for the challenge as well. So we have also, to go alongside our nutritional protocol, we have an exercise and fitness protocol that goes along with the challenge as well. And so absolutely, we demand exercise, we demand movement along with the nutrition, and we demand mindfulness as well. And so combining all of those things to really get the body back to a state of homeostasis. So we have everything from just cardio, depending on what somebody's fitness level is and how deconditioned they are, all the way to people who are already lifting and want to take it up a notch.
And somebody who has never done anything plant based and hasn't ate a veggie in a month.
Oh my God, no veggies. So absolutely. So we have people who come in the challenge who's like, I've never given up an animal product. Help me, to people who are like, I'm already vegan, but I'm not this clean and I want to take it up a notch, right? And of course, you have me yelling at everybody twice a week on Wednesdays and Saturdays, right? Snatching edges, right? Like really keeping it real, to let them know how like serious it is and how much you can do. So my main goal with the challenge, guys, despite the name of the challenge and everything, is like I'm not really concerned with people being vegan. I'm more concerned with people being obedient. And what I've observed over the years as a coach is inevitably when I have these private conversations with our students and our audience, they have something that they haven't executed on because their health is in the way. Lisa, I'm just too tired all the time. Lisa, I have brain fog and I can't think clearly. Like I have no energy, I have no creativity, or I don't believe in myself. I have these belief issues. My emotional intelligence or the lack thereof means that I can't stop eating sugar, or I can't stop drinking alcohol, or I can't stop with the caffeine. So what's happening is my real mission at my company is not making the world plant-based. I could care less about that. My real mission is making sure people are doing what they're being called to do despite the presence of fear and uncertainty, which is how I define radical obedience. I live a life of radical obedience. That means when God tells me to move, I move. And what most people believe when it comes to making big changes in their health is that getting healthy is the finish line. Like if I could just get to a point where my doctor's taking me off these medications, or if I can just lose the weight, they think I've arrived, I've completed it, not knowing when you are unhealthy, when you are overweight, when you are medicated, you are behind the finish line. So getting to a place where you're at a healthy weight and getting to a place where you have mental clarity and you're not tired all the time, that's the starting line, not the finish line. Right. So you think that the goal is just to like finally get this 20, 15 pounds off, finally get off of this insulin. That's just so you can start living life at a higher level. That's not the finish line, it's the starting line. We're behind for a lot of us because we're so sick all the time, or the depression, the anxiety, the mental health has kept us stuck. And so my mission is with this challenge and all the work that we do at my company is radical obedience. So that whether that's helping somebody eliminate chronic stress or helping somebody, keep cancer in remission or improving their fertility, it is what are you supposed to be doing in this season that your health has become a hindrance, to, and that's the goal. So yeah, whether they've never taken out animal products or they haven't eaten animal products in 10 years, this is the place where I get your mind right. So I focus on belief more than anything, more than I focus on how many grams of protein and like what sweeteners can I have. Like I come in and I deal with your mindset above all else because most of us just aren't believers in ourselves.
I'm signing up.
Come on, Kiani, quit playing with me now.
Comments like, you don't like challenges. I hate challenges.
You did just
For real, I hate challenges as long as it has a purpose. I'm down.
Right,
But some of
definitely.
these challenges, be like,
Yeah,
I'm gonna say no, but I'm signing up.
Kiani, don't play with me because I will come find you if I
I
don't see
signed
your
up
name.
right here. I just didn't want to type. I'm
Okay.
thinking it autofill.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Because let me tell you, my favorite testimonials at the end of the challenge, it's not the ones that are like, Coach, I lost 20 pounds, or my doctor just took me off of one of my blood pressure meds. Like, that's cool. But my favorite testimonials are where people are like, I have so many divine downloads and ideas and clarity on the things that I've been stressed out about that I don't know what to do with them. Like, Coach, I restarted my podcast and I'm back creating again. Coach, I was able to finally take that draft of my book off the shelf and now I'm clear enough and energetic enough to get back to it. Coach, I finally got the courage to start the nonprofit for teen girls. Like these are all real testimonials, right? And so that's the win for me. It is radical. So many assignments are just ending up in the graveyard because people either don't have the permission, the belief, or the health to execute. And so for me, health or plant-based diet is the vehicle, but it's not the destination. If you come back to me a year from now, Kiana, and be like, I was so convicted during the challenge that I never touched chicken again, but you're like, but I do have this project that I'm still not working on, I feel like I failed. I don't care about you touching chicken. I care about what's the assignment because somebody is supposed to be benefiting from your gifts and your talents and you're not executing. So I feel like I failed because I'm like, I didn't change her belief system. I changed her eating habits, but I didn't change her belief system. And so I feel like I failed.
Well, that's what's got me intrigued. The whole like clarity, the creativity, and just I need to get rid of caffeine. So those are my regions. Caffeine up. So
And this is a no caffeine challenge, so I'm
Oh,
coming.
what?
I'm coming for that caffeine. It be having a hold on y'all, honey.
it does.
Yes, yes, yes.
I'm like, I'm gonna just drink some tea.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's all good. And it's just 1 month. It's 1 month. Let's just see what you're capable of. Let's just like the goal is not even necessarily to give up caffeine for life. The goal should be for this 1 month should be, can I stop let something have more power over me than I have over it? Can I just take my power back for 1 month? Let me just see what I'm capable of. That's the goal.
I'm for it.
I
Yes,
feel like
let's go.
All right. I have a question about I saw that you have like a program that teaches other coaches to pretty much incorporate the stuff that like your way of teaching, I would say.
Yep.
How did that come about?
Yeah, so I began business coaching in 2021 after we had all of these people who were graduating from our health coaching program, Farm to Table, and a percentage of them are like, Lisa, I want to do what you do. Like, I'm so convicted. I've gotten this major transformation myself. And not only that, I'm in ecosystems where people are suffering from what I was suffering with. They're overweight too. They're battling these conditions. They're not aging well. I feel like I have a voice. I feel like I have a story. How do I get on stages? How do I coach other people? What does it mean to be a coach? How can I make money from it? Like, teach me how to create content like you do to attract people to me. And so at first, I just used to dibble and dabble and just help people here and there. But in 2021, I created my own certification. So we created the first plant-based coaching certification to be founded by a person of color, because also when people want to get certified in this type of nutrition science and lifestyle science, none of the programs were ever for us by us. So I decided to create it. And so since 2021, I've been helping people to establish their own coaching businesses, which is the love of my life because like it's one thing to do it for you and your personal well-being, but then when you take your health and decide to leverage it to become a possibility model to other people and to other communities, that's like that's when I wake up and be like, okay, I gave God a return on his investment in me today, right? Like I made another person be bold enough to become an influencer to people in their ecosystem. And so, yes, I've been business coaching. So I help people with their speaking career, help people establish coaching businesses. I teach them how to build curriculum-based programs, specialized offers, meaning you're not a generalist trying to say I can help anybody, but what do you specialize in specifically based on what you've accomplished? And I absolutely love business coaching. So we have a mastermind, Clarity Mastermind, where I help people with business mentorship and I mentor them in becoming full-time coaches and speakers and entrepreneurs. Yep.
Okay. Okay.
Does that incorporate plant-based as well?
It's their choice. So I have some people, like I have somebody right now, I'm helping them with their yoga business studio. Like it's not plant-based at all, right? And so the type of business they have, it has to be service-based. We don't do product-based businesses, but no, you don't have to be plant-based nutrition or plant-centered focused. It used to be, right? But we have a track now where I'm just here for the business mentorship. And then we have another track where people want to get certified by me in plant-based nutrition. And that's also an option as well.
That's dope.
Yes. Thank you. Yeah.
We're going to be tapping into that.
Yeah.
Yeah, other than that, I think this was a pretty good one right here.
Yeah.
For the people that want to learn more about you, follow you, join the challenge, change their life. Did you point to me?
Well, I'm just saying to the people, do the challenge. Sorry, I talk with my hands. My bad. I need to do this.
I'll point to him. Join the challenge.
I got you.
Ain't nobody scared of you, Dom. Yeah. You better come get this help with me. Give me 30 days, Dom. Give me 30 days. What got a hold on you? Caffeine? What is it?
I mean, caffeine is not that. I don't even think it's caffeine. I just like the taste. So it's not. I can do without caffeine. I don't know if caffeine can do without me. That's where we're at.
I've never heard that one. I can do without caffeine. I don't know if caffeine can do without me. That's interesting.
I don't do it a lot. Like I can drop my dose. What has me? I could give it a go. I mean, I think it would be because I'm such like a foodie. Can I still get the same
satisfaction?
Like, being at a time married to an Islander in the past, like you can't take a mushroom and tell me it's a steak. I've tried it. It doesn't taste the same.
Agreed.
So it hurt my feelings when people was like, "Oh, this tastes like steak." It doesn't. Now I'm sad. Now I gotta go have this steak. But I think I could 30 days. I think I could do it.
Yeah, 30 days. It's gonna come and go so fast. And it's just about testing it out and seeing. And it's similar to what Kiani said too. We can definitely talk offline, but it might not be about health for you, but maybe it is about your performance from the neck up, right? Because let's look and see what will happen if we did remove, some of the cholesterol and saturated fat and got the blood vessels dilated that go to your brain. Let's see what happens if we feed it your brain, the raw materials that it needs for cognitive functioning to like go to the next level for you, right?
Well, it's definitely all of them. I mean, it's because I'm one of those people where like, I take on more things than just one at a time.
Yes.
And I'm trying to do like 3 things at once. I'm just,
Yep.
So it is more of like, a finish what you start thing,
yes.
clarity.
Yes.
So all of that.
Yeah. So that could be your reason. And like I said, you don't have to commit for life, but let's just see if it's true that there's a level I haven't unlocked cognitively.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got you. I'm gonna do it.
My work here is done. Who interviewed who? Who interviewed who today?
And the thing is, I knew. I said, soon as we were back talking again, I was like, "Watch, she's gonna make me do one of these challenges." Because it's been. Think about it. When were we at the shed? What was that? 2000.
That was a long time ago.
You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yeah, you tried to get me then, so we're more ready now. We're more ready. Well, yeah, this was great. For those that want to follow you, learn more about you, where can people find you?
Yeah. So the best place to come get your edges snatched on a daily basis will be on Instagram and YouTube at Lisa Angel Smith. I'm live on YouTube every Monday for my Monday morning keynote at 10 a.m. Eastern. And of course, I'm always dropping some clips when we talking my talk on Instagram or Facebook or TikTok at Lisa Angel Smith. And then those who want to give it a shot and join us in the challenge, it will be lisaangelsmith.com. lisaangelsmith.com/challenge. It's all in the links in my bios on social media and everywhere. We have hundreds upon hundreds of people signed up. I think we're maybe at about 800 people right now for this one. And I'm excited to expose people to the next version of themselves, right? So don't think of day 32, right? Just focus on January 1st to January 31st, and let's just stay there and just observe what our body does differently. That's the goal, right? Just acknowledge where there might be some room for us to be cleaner, despite what you decide from February forward. Just like give your body a shot at cleaning out, detoxing, you get all that excess oil, that refined sugar. Because the hardest things for people to give up, the SOS, the salt, oil, and sugar, are all vegan. So the hardest part of our challenge is actually not the animal products for most people. It's the stuff that's already vegan that they eat on a regular basis, which is salt, oil, and sugar. And those are the things that have the biggest hold on us because they're literally addiction is engineered into our food through salt, oil, and sugar. And so giving those up is usually makes the biggest game changer for people. And even if they go back to animal products, they're like, Coach, but I couldn't go back to the sugar. I couldn't go back. Like I felt the inflammation or I felt the mucus as soon as I reintroduced it. And so that might be the biggest takeaway for you. But who knows? Let's just explore it.
Awesome, awesome. So once again, thank you, thank you, thank you. This is Coach Dom with Coach Kiani, our special guest today, Coach Lisa, and this is the No BS Fitness Prescription Podcast with the Unhinged Approach. Thank you and see you guys soon.
Bye. Thank you for having me.
You're so welcome.